When Saudi King Salman goes anywhere in the world, he is accompanied by 809 people, including 150 private jets. How important people travel. When the world's most powerful people travel, they have a whole team with them. For example, when American President Donald Trump travels, he has his motorcade, his plane bodyguards, and Secret Service agents to keep him safe anywhere in the world. If anyone other than the US president gets such treatment, it's Saudi. King Salman bin Abdulaziz. King Salman bin Abdulaziz is the most important monarch in the world. He and his family share assets valued at $1.4 trillion, or 105,000 billion riyals. When King Salman travels anywhere, the world knows someone very important is moving. To make sure he is comfortable everywhere he goes, he travels with many planes, his own servants, family, and special vehicles. In March 2017, the Saudi king's private Boeing 747 landed in Indonesia for a 900-person tour. This was the first time the Saudi king had visited Indonesia in 6 years, and it was big news worldwide. Besides to Boeing 747s, King Salman also owns a Boeing 757, to Boeing 777s, and to Boeing 787s. These are all used for his travels. His son, MBS Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and other family members had their own planes too. The Boeing 747 is a large commercial plane that can carry 600 people. But for King Salman's solo trips, an entire 747 is prepared, which is more like a palace. This plane doesn't have regular seats. Instead, it has luxury bedrooms, conference rooms, pilot dining areas, seating areas, and a kitchen. Overall, King Salman feels like he's at home in his palace when he travels, because all his planes are like luxury palaces. When it comes to luggage, a regular person usually takes about 20 kilograms of bags on a flight, but King Salman is a king, so his luggage is much more. On his Indonesia tour, he brought 506 tons of luggage. That's 506,000 kilograms. His luggage included two private limousines and even a gold-plated escalator to get off the plane. This fancy luggage didn't come on the same plane as the king. Instead, it was flown to Indonesia using 7 different aircraft, some flying ahead and others behind his plane. Along with King Salman, 1,500 other people traveled from Saudi Arabia to Indonesia, and for them, 36 separate planes were arranged. King Salman set new records for luxury and extravagance during his trip to Indonesia. The company that shipped all the luggage from Saudi Arabia to Indonesia used 570 workers for the whole operation, and the cargo was delivered to Indonesia very quickly along with the king. This wasn't the first time the Saudi king traveled in such a grand manner. During his 4-day visit to Japan, 2 gold escalators, 10 planes, and 100 luxury cars accompanied him from Saudi Arabia to Japan. For their stay in Japan, 1,200 luxury suites were booked in Tokyo's top hotels for King Salman and his whole team. A few 5-star hotels were emptied completely to house only the king's people and relatives. On the king's trip to France, around 400 luxury cars were hired for his official events. Even presidents don't get this kind of treatment. When Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is one of the most protected people in the world, met King Salman in Russia, the king brought 1,000 kilograms of food with him. He also brought furniture and carpets from Saudi Arabia. When King Salman's royal group arrived in Moscow, the city's 2 biggest hotels were emptied. People who had earlier booked rooms were also moved out, so the king and his team could stay. For a 4-night stay, King Salman spent $3 million, which he paid without hesitation. King Salman is well known for bringing his entire palace with him wherever he goes. Even with all this spending and show, King Salman's golden escalator broke down right in front of the media while he was getting off the plane, causing him some embarrassment. In the end, he had to walk down the rest of the stairs with his own legs. In 2014, when King Salman met American President Barack Obama, he was just as serious about the trip. All 222 rooms of Washington, D.C.'s famous Four Seasons Hotel were not only booked, but the entire hotel was turned into a palace overnight. As soon as King Salman arrived in Washington, D.C., the Four Seasons Hotel was completely turned into a golden place. Special golden items were brought from Saudi Arabia, like golden furniture, carpets, fancy bedsheets, golden chairs, and even golden hat racks. The hotel went so far that red carpets were laid in the parking lot so King Salman wouldn't have to put his feet on the ground. This was the story of the Saudi king, following in his father's footsteps. The Saudi prince is no less extravagant. When Prince Mohammed bin Salman went to Los Angeles, he booked all 285 suites of the Four Seasons Hotel. Not only that, but the entire hotel was also given an Adele test, which means everything from the lighting to the hotel's menu was changed. This was done for just a few nights. The whole extravagance cost Mohammed bin Salman $1 million, 150 million rupees. But surprisingly, Mohammed bin Salman himself didn't stay a single night in the hotel. Instead, he booked a separate private palace for himself. The entire 285-suite hotel was booked only for his accompanying team, and this tour wasn't Mohammed bin Salman's first time showing off wealth. In 2014, the Crown Prince had a similar tour to the Maldives, when 3 entire islands were booked. For him, to get there, Mohammed bin Salman was on a private yacht, surrounded by an army of his bodyguards. On the 299 islands of the Maldives, no one else was allowed to walk around except the Crown Prince and his close friends. This trip cost Mohammed bin Salman $30 million to 5 billion rupees. Finally, we would like to tell you that in 2015, when King Salman visited France, 100,000 people protested against King Salman because the French beach where his staff was present was closed to the public. Escalators were even installed on the public beach just for King Salman to get off his boat. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Infallible Media Videos. Please leave your comments about the video in the comment section, as I read every comment. Please like the video. See you in the next amazing video.